Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the November 8th meeting of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. Our word for the day is Proverbs chapter 27, verse 10. Never abandon a friend, either yours or your father's. When disaster strikes, you won't have to ask your brother for assistance. It is better to go to a neighbor than to a brother who lives far away. And we have the dog from the kennel from our deputy dog, or our dog warden.
Good morning. This is Kennel 17. He's an older boy. He's got a few miles on him, but he's got some left. We have 27 other dogs in the kennel. This is a male that was picked up in Wellington. He's available now. So come see us. $66, tax title out the door. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Includes spay or neuter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Madam Clerk.
We have a proclamation for proclaiming November 15th as American Recycles Day. Brandi Schnell from Solid Waste. We're going to pick 2 winners on our pizza party too.
Brandi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Brandi Schnell, the Community Outreach Coordinator for Lorain County Solid Waste. Every year on November 15th, we have America Recycles Day. And so we have a few events going on for that. The main one is at the Carlisle Visitor Center, the Lorain County Metro Parks Carlisle Visitor Center. We have a display of all of our calendar contest winners. Enlarged drawings are in the hallway there, along with a rain barrel drawing. And people can sign the pledge, which is the main part of America Recycles Day, saying that they're willing to pledge to learn more about recycling in their community and do more for their part to recycle throughout the year. We have some pencils and calendars and things to give away there as well. There is a pledge card on our website for people to go to and sign for themselves. And Lorain County Community College Environmental Awareness Council, they do an event every year in their student center, and so they will have some pledge cards there as well as some calendars and things to give away. One of the neatest things that we get to do is go out into the schools in Lorain County and get pledges from the students. And so this year we collected over 1,100 signatures for this pledge from students across Lorain County. 24 different schools participated in that. And all of the classrooms that participated were entered to win a pizza party. So we are going to have you draw 2 winners for this pizza party, and I'll come up there and you can pick them.
You want me to make 2 people happy and
Sure.
a whole lot of people
There you
sad?
go. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, that's you.
Okay. First one, Keystone Elementary School, Mrs. Beth Branco.
All right, one more.
St. Mary Elyria, Mrs. Hunt.
Excellent.
All right. I'm not going to read the whole proclamation. I'm just going to read the 3 bullet points that are pretty impressive. sending 89 million tons of material to a useful second life instead of a landfill, saves the same amount of energy consumed by over 10 million U.S. households in a year, and avoids greenhouse gas emissions equivalent to removing more than 38 million cars from our roads. So that's pretty good numbers there. So I'll give this to you
Okay.
from the board.
Thank you. We will display it proudly. Oh, and I almost forgot, the pizza parties are provided by Friends Office. They're the ones that have stepped up and asked every year to be involved in that way.
Nice.
So, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Brandi.
Welcome back.
Recycle the pizza boxes, right?
Yeah.
Under Resolutions Number 1, Investments,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Appropriations,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Transfers,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
No advances, no repayments, requisitions,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Travel,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Bills,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorraine County Commissioners.
Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner. I do have a couple issues I want to talk with the board about, possible hires. One at the collection center, I do want to talk about maybe a hire in community development. Also, I want to update you on our recently completed agreement with the United Auto Workers. Update on a fact-finding report that we received with the Sheriff's Department. And one legal matter. All those issues allowable under the Sunshine Act for executive session discussion, so to ask at the conclusion of our regular board meeting, we go into executive session, we talk about those matters that I've identified. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under 911, enter into professional service agreement with Exact 911 Limited, Chardon, and an all-inclusive monthly rate of $6,000 to provide consulting services in connection with construction of a new emergency service 911 dispatch center and purchase, install, and implement the new next generation 911 countywide system and contains a 30-day cancellation clause.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Under sanitary, advertise for bids for in-home township wastewater treatment plants, UV disinfection conversion. Notice in the Chronicle on November 10th and 17th and open at 2 p.m. on November 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Workforce, approve and enter in a data sharing confidentiality agreement with ODJFS, retroactive to July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2019, to receive confidential unemployment and wage record data that will be used to access outcomes for participants who are served through Ohio Means Jobs, Lorain County.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Engineer, approve and enter an emergency contract with Mid-Ohio Structures LLC Norwalk for a cost not to exceed $16,604 for immediate repairs to the Durkee Road Bridge 0423 over Willow Creek, and needing to be paid from the engineer project bridge account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Under the prosecutor, authorized acceptance of Oakland SVAA grant in the amount of $263,218.50 for the Victim Witness Program effective October 1st, 2017 through September 30th, 2018. Grant is to pay salary and payroll expense for 3 full-time and 3 part-time advocates. Cash match is required of $65,804.62.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Cortez.
Blew through that, didn't we?
I didn't get any work done this
Getting work
morning.
done, yeah.
I don't have too much this morning, except I want to thank those that voted in support of our levies last night. I know things are really tough out there. Those are vital services. I was most concerned with 911. We're in the middle of a huge expansion to provide greater and better services, and the technology is costly, but we're required to make those upgrades. And we're in the middle of that process, so it was greatly needed. It was the first chance at the levy, so we had additional chances at it, and we went as early as possible. Not that we're going to collect any earlier, but at least we could get to see how the taxpayers felt. And I will tell you that I don't think we've ever been that successful. I just want to thank everybody that voted in support of all the issues, but more specifically the 911 issue. 70-30 is a resounding vote of support, and we're not going to let anybody down. And I really can't wait till the springtime when the new center's done. We're not going to occupy that center until we have an open house, and any resident that wants to is going to be able to come out and walk through the center and look at what they're paying for and be able to somewhat put their hands on it, because just like I want to do with the courthouse, they deserve to see what they're funding. We did that with the Justice Center when we first opened it for the first time, and I want to do it with these two facilities too. I think that we need to do that. So I'm pretty excited about getting through the winter and getting to the spring, so we can present these two new facilities to the people that pay for them. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Mr. Ennis?
I do have one matter of pending litigation to discuss with the commissioners in executive session.
Commissioners report.
I too want to sincerely thank the voters who supported our three very important levies, as Mr. Cortez indicated. Very important, all three of them. And also to all the winners that won yesterday. Saturday, I was asked to judge a chili cook-off at Westwood School in Elyria. They had a fundraiser to help offset a DC trip that the students will be going on. I got to sample 17 different chilies, and it turned out that the school staff won for the second year in a row, but they had really great we did flavor, aroma, presentation, texture, and I had a student walk with me with a little clipboard. It was very well done, very well put together, so that was fun. And I also want to thank everyone who worked very hard over the weekend to get the tentative agreement with the employees over at Job and Family Services. Glad they're back to work, and I'm sure so are those people who are most vulnerable in our community who rely on the services that these workers provide. And I also want to thank all those who stepped up to the plate to keep the agency going during the strike. We are required to provide these services. We can't just shut the doors and lock them while the union was on strike. So thank you to everybody involved. Mr. Cortez, I know you worked hard over the weekend to get that done without a telephone. So hopefully you got your phone back.
Yeah, it was not a good time to not have a cell phone.
Yeah, so, all right, that's all I have.
Yeah, again, I'd like to thank the voters of Lorain County for supporting us on those three very important issues, especially in regards to the opioid crisis and drug task force and emergency services 911, of course, the TB. Busy week. We had Lorain County Chamber of Commerce had their annual business expo at Tom's Country Place, packed house. Fine job again by Tony Gallo and his staff and everyone who participated. Just amazing when you see everybody who comes together and works together to make this happen. And then, of course, our departments here that were participating. Thank Don Romanski and his staff. Also, County Commissioners Association had their monthly meeting. Just a recap on what the year's been so far, looking at changes in regards to the Medicaid, what might happen, and again, everything's in flux in Columbus, as you know, Commissioner Lundy. Lions had a great pancake as always, Lorain Lions Club. Congratulations to them as always. And again, congratulations to everyone who participated in the elections. To the winners, congrats, and to those who participated, maybe next time. End of my report.
Yeah, I want to thank the voters of Lorain County for supporting our three issues. I mean, it's very humbling to see just the huge support. I know that some of these efforts have been tried in the past, and this time around we were successful. They were all renewals, and I think if on a $100,000 home, if you combined all three of them, I think it was like $20 or something for the year. I mean, it wasn't, anything outrageous, but doing the renewals, I think, was a good approach by this board. And as the county administrator just commented, especially with upgrades in technology at 911, it was critical to receive passage. Obviously, we continue our efforts to try to take the drugs and the drug dealers and this whole opiate epidemic issue off the streets. So that was huge. And TB is still a very serious health threat to our communities, and it was important to have the support on that. For all those who ran last night, congratulations to the winners. And if you came up short, I can't say enough good things about anybody who runs for public office, because you have to have thick skin. Not a lot of people want to step up for the responsibilities, and so I think it always takes a special person to step up and run for office. The Business Expo over at Tom's Country Place in Avon last week, held by the Chamber, another huge success, just always packed, great networking. The reality is, in today's business climate, that most of the jobs of the future are going to come from the smaller businesses. The days of the big businesses with hundreds of employees are very limited. And most of the growth that's going to take place is going to come from existing businesses already here, instead of anticipating that folks are going to be locating here. So congratulations to the Chamber on that. El Centro, always a magnificent gala there on Saturday night. Victor Leandri and the whole group and his whole team, a magnificent evening. They were focusing, of course, on Puerto Rico, and we're in the process of trying to arrange some meetings, figure out how county government can best connect with others in the community as we try to do outreach to the families of Puerto Rico. It's certainly a lot more affordable to move to Lorain County than it is to move to New York by any means, or even Orlando. And I think we have a great community that would embrace these families and work with them, and so we'll be having some discussions about that. Sunday was the day I think I could have packed on the pound. Started with the pancake breakfast there with the Lines in Lorain, and then from there it was over to Elyria for the bagel brunch. Boy, some of the nicest folks you'll ever meet over at the Temple in Elyria there. Just always a nice group of folks. And then the UAW benefit spaghetti dinner, which we were glad to participate in as a board, and provided a nice gift basket over there. I don't know who ended up winning it. It'd be interesting to see.
Well, how much money they made on it.
Yeah,
Nice to know.
yeah. So they'll be feeding the needy around Thanksgiving time. And I just want to, personally say, as I told the papers when I got a call at 10:30 the other night.
I was sleeping.
Yeah. So, couldn't get into the details, at the time, and of course we'll be looking that over with the county administrator in our executive session. But I can't thank the administrator enough, our negotiating team, and all parties involved for finally bringing this to a resolution. As I said to the paper, strikes like a war. No one wins. It certainly takes its toll on the members, their families, the community. But the bottom line is that we have an agreement. Now it's important that we rip off the rear view mirror, throw it out the window, look through the windshield, move forward, and continue to serve the residents of the community. And when I was telling folks that we actually provide assistance to 49,000 families, they were blown away by that number. So a lot of people really relying on those services. And let me also say in the same breath that our workers have a very tough job to do. That's a very difficult system to navigate every day. The state doesn't make it much easier either, but they have a very tough job, and we respect them, value what they do, appreciate what they do. We know that they have a tough job, and we're just thrilled that they are back. That completes my report.
Board correspondence?
I move the reading be waived.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Public comment?
Anybody wishing to address the board this morning? Seeing none, I move that we go into executive session as outlined by the administrator and assistant county prosecutor.
Second.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.